Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you too. I hope you guys are doing okay. Welcome to today's live session. So we're just gonna give 1 or 2 minutes for others to join in quickly. Meanwhile, y'all just give me a minute. Just a moment. Oh, all right. So I missed last week's class. Someone had to take over. I hope you guys also got value from that. Good morning. Welcome to the class. Oh, wow. First time watching me live. Well, you're welcome. I hope you get value out of this class today. Um, so what we do here is very simple. It's a live class, so definitely we do live market analysis and project ourselves for positions that we need to trade. And then also, I take pairs that you guys are also looking at and just help you check it out so that we can just match our energy. It's not as if I'm one bad that whatever I say happens, but at least if I use my own experience to check out your own setup and it kind of like aligns, yeah, it just gives you this extra confidence, extra boost. And sometimes I do steal it myself, when you give me a setup or a pair and I check, maybe I did not check that pair, and I happen to just open it because you asked me to. If I see something nice, I'll take it to. There was a time we took AUD back to back buy and sell. It was somebody that just told me to check AUD, and I did, and I saw some really nice setups, and we took advantage of it. So it's always a win-win. It's always a win-win. All right, so we're just gonna go straight to what we have for today. It's I'll still be live in the class today, so we'll have to do the ones we can do here and round up. So we're gonna start with GBPJPY because that's like the pair that I'm currently trading on right now. And I sent out that signal to the Telegram. I don't know if any of you took it. If you didn't, that's fine. If you took it, well, good for you because you're definitely in profit now, making some money. So I wanted to we'll first do the breakdown of that one, why I took the trade, and I'm still expecting another trade from that setup. So that is more reason why we need to, check that setup out very well, GBPJPY, because there's something cooking. There's something really cooking there. So I have my GJ here running, and I have some pending orders, and I'm going to show you guys the pending orders as well, so that you can get a hang of what we're doing. All right, so let me share my screen. I hope everybody can hear me properly, loud and clear, because we're about to dive into the chat. So please let me know. Okay, Sani said he took it. If it's you, I'm not doubting the fact that you're not going to take that setup. Sharp one, enjoy the profit. Make sure you manage your trade properly. It is one thing to take a trade and one thing to be able to manage it properly so that you can make the best out of the trade. All right, so I'm going to be sharing my screen now. Please, I'll need feedbacks from you guys. Let's do this together, yeah? So I'll need feedbacks from you guys. If you're seeing properly, always draw my attention in case you're not, because sometimes we do have network glitches. So let me share and then we get right on it. We don't need no other man. Oops. Oh boy. So GBPJPY is dropping back massively. I'm still holding. Let's see how that turns out. So let's start the analysis from top, yeah? We're going to do like a top-down analysis from where this whole thing started from and why I took this trade. So first things first, I think last week I dropped a video on my Instagram talking about this particular cell, right? So I gave what looks like what they call this again, what looks like a market directional bias. I was just saying, hey, this market is going to drop massively. Try your best to look for an entry. I'm not going to give you an entry, just find your own entry and then find a way to jump on it. And I gave some expectations as well. And just the way I projected that particular pair, that GBPJPY, it dropped massively. Look at the drop, right? I was able to take advantage of this drop myself. And why did I take that drop, or why did I get in on that sell? Why did I project that sell particularly? It's very simple. First things first, higher time frame analysis, right? We're going to start from the top down, start from the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, this is what we're looking at now. So basically, this market is bullish quite well, very, very bullish. And you can see that the dynamics is shifting more and more to the upside. So we have this nice break of structure that happened here, right? This is a daily time frame break of structure. So that means that now I'm working with this current market range, right? This impulsive move went on and broke an internal structure, broke an external structure, and move all the way up, right? Now, the moment it broke the external structure, it just confirmed to me that, yes, at this point, this market has given a new higher high. So at any point in time, the market is bound to start reversing. But you really can't tell when the market wants to start reversing. And it does not mean that because the market is generally bullish, you cannot find buy setups. If you're an experienced trader, you've been trading for a while, you know that you can both buy and sell, whether the market is bullish or bearish. You just need to understand what you're doing and the market structure that is in place. So from the daily time frame, I saw that we have broken structure. And that means that when I break structure, when I see something like this and I break structure, it means that at any point in time, the more the market keeps going, it's not a problem. But at some point, the market will get exhausted and then turn for a what? What do you call it? A correction, right? So taking advantage of that, just market structure analysis, you will know that, okay, since the next thing that is about to happen is a correction. And then furthermore, when I went to a lower time frame, like let's say, let's check out the 4 hours first of all. We did the 4 hour time frame, and on the 4 hour time frame, you begin to see that the market was going sideways, right? It was ranging at this point, massively ranging. In fact, the range was not even so clear on the 4 hour. I think it started getting clear on the 1 hour or so. You could see the market ranging here on the 1 hour. Now, after this range, what will come next? I've told you guys this before, that most times when you have a situation like this, it's a very simple analogy and it's very powerful. When the market does this push to the upside, right? It gives you a nice massive push to the upside, and then it starts ranging. What does that tell you? This range is occurring on a what? A on a sorry, what's the name again? This range is occurring on a resistant area. So when you have something on a resistant area, what does that mean? It's bound to fall, right? So we're expecting this. And when market range on a support area, most times the market is bound to what? Push up. So using that ideology, when I saw the range was simply happening on a, my God, was happening on a resistant area, right? It was happening on a resistant area right here. And so what is supposed to come next is a correction. So that was why I was saying just find your entry, because in that kind of situation here where you have that correction, when it's ranging like that, you have to, people have different ideas of how to enter a trade from there. Some people will use the SMC concept and want to, wait for liquidity to be swept and all of that. Some people just want to use normal price action when they see, a candlestick that tells them to sell. But it's very difficult to just use normal price action. I know a trader, I don't want to call him a very popular trader, that what he will just do here is simply, he will just enter a sell and put his stop loss way above and then hold. Because eventually after this range, this market is going to drop. So that was how we came about this drop. Now, going further into this analysis, right? You should no need to explain. Should I explain how I entered this my own cell? Any need? Basically, yeah, let me just say it quickly. Yeah, I just use this order block. If you come down to the 1 hour time frame, this was how I got into my own cell. Oh, this thing almost hit stop loss. Damn. All right, so this was how I got into my own cell. Okay, there was a breaker block here, right, which I highlighted in that video, that breaker block. And then this market just came, nipped this liquidity a little bit, still mitigated one, two, three touch in the breaker block, then gave this massive drop, right? So I came down to a much lower time frame, and then that was how I got this 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 push to the upside, and this candle dropping back into the structure, and then it started pushing. At the moment the momentum started shifting, I just quickly jumped on it, right? Because I knew at that point the market wants to start selling. So going forward, after this whole sale happened, if you now come down to the 4 hour again, what you'll be seeing is that the market is on a fine correction phase. Correction phase. So that means that we're going to correct even more. We're going to have more sales. Forget that, yeah, you see, I'm trying to force in a buy right now, but the general bias now is a sell. And this is the reason why I'll show you why I was taking that buy anyways. So when this market dropped, you can see the movement of this market, right? It started pushing up bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. And then while it was going up, it was going up with a lot of weeks, a lot of weeks, a lot of weeks, a lot of weeks. That's to tell you that this is the momentum. All this is a correction. So while this is a correction, that means the market is still going to continue selling. Now, this is why I joined the buy. So if you come to the 1 hour time frame, we have this order block here, and this is exactly where I want to take my sell from. This order block right here, and then price came close to this order block, engineering liquidity, and moved away from this order block, now dropping. So what now happened in this particular correction that you're seeing? The market is giving higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. That was what came about this setup. So I'm trying to buy to continue and mitigate this order block for a sell, more like buy and sell. Apparently we started getting good profit, but now it's going back into it's going straight for SL. We don't know, it might still reverse, might not reverse. If I've not touched already, I'm still in the trade, definitely, but it's looking like it's going to go south, right? But I'm not changing my stop loss, I'm not removing it, I'm just going to leave it that way. Whatever happens, happens. I've already set it and I'm already holding regardless, right? So the buy came about this particular move right here. You can see we have on the 30 minutes price giving you impulsive correction, impulsive. So this is the last order block we had, our engineered liquidity, hence the reason for taking this buy up from this point. It might still push up all the way, probably wants to use us as liquidity as well before it finally goes back up there. But however, I'm still holding and I'm going to wait for my sell on this zone. So this particular sell I'm done with. I'm done with this sell. Now, this is the next point I'm going to be entering this sell from. So you can see the order block properly from the 30-minute time frame. You can see our engineered liquidity right here. So yeah, while I'm waiting for this price to come into this zone, that's why I was taking this buy to push this up, and then we sell from here. So if you're looking at GBPJPY, your eyes should be on the sell from this particular zone, right? If it decides to continue to sell from here, no problem, but you follow structure, you follow your strategy, you set, you wait, and then you allow the market play out. No need to chase, not because the market now have showed its face like, it wants to sell at this point, then you follow and jump. You have to have a mechanical approach to the market. Have a mechanical approach and then wait for the market to do what it's supposed to do for you before you jump in. That way, you reduce trading by chasing the market. You wait, you set your trap, then you set your risk management in place. That's simple, right? So that's the setup on GBPJPY. So while we're still holding this, is floating in loss currently. If you are in it, if you're not in it, okay, that's good. So I'm still going to be waiting for myself from this zone. So let's see how this plays out at the end of the day. Right. So the next one we're going to be looking at is XAUUSD. XAUUSD. So this is more like my new baby right now. This is my favorite of all. As you can see my chart, I've been catching so many trades on XAUUSD. All right, so let's do a top-down analysis on this one, and then I'll show you guys where I'm waiting for my entry, because I have a projected entry I'm waiting for gold. So let's start from a higher time frame. In fact, let's do something. Let's start from a weekly. Let me just show you guys something from a weekly time frame. Now, let me hide all of this so the chart will be clear. Please let me know, can you see my screen? I'm on gold right now. Let me know if you can see my screen. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So on gold, from the weekly time frame, we had this massive sell that happened, and then we have this massive buy happening right now. Now this buy has a very long weak rejection from the weekly time frame, and then you can see the candles that have body here, one, two, three candles, are candles that have body with equal level of rejection, right? So you can see a long week ahead, a long week ahead. This one has like a much shorter week though, but they all have weeks that are proportional. That are partially long, right? So what this means is that these buys that are happening now is telling you, the price action you're seeing here is telling you that there is some kind of rejection, there's some kind of pushback or kickback, should I say kickback from the sellers. Even though the buyers are trying to push back the market up, the sellers are still somewhat in charge of the market. You can see the way the sellers are rejecting the prices that the buyers keep pushing up, right? So that means that there is a tendency of a much drop about to happen again. Then if you come down to the daily time frame, it starts to get clearer on the daily time frame. Yeah. Impulsive moves to the downside. One, two, three candles formed this whole impulsive move, but you can see this buy side is giving multiple candles telling you that this is like a correction phase. So from a higher time frame, we can see that the market is basically correcting for a drop continuation. I know a lot of people are saying gold is going to be buying massively, continually buying quite well. Yeah, it's going to be buying. Yeah, but trust me, I'm seeing like a massive drop about to happen just from the price action. Nothing much, right? Just from the price action. So from here now, we can see that we are about to enter a continuation for the downtrend, right? So this is a correction phase. So we can now drop down to the 4-hour time frame to now look at it properly. Now, from the 4-hour time frame, this is where we can now start marking our structures. So if the market is about to start dropping, let's go back to the daily first of all. Let me show you something. So on the daily time frame, there is a strong possibility. You see, the market is reacting to what we call a daily time frame breaker block here, right? A breaker block. However, if this breaker block should not hold, the market may go deeper. I'm still though expecting, I wish the market should go deeper before we start the sells, right? So let me take this out again. So let's come down to the 4-hour time frame, having in mind that we have a breaker block right there, right? So on the 4-hour time frame, now it looks at this point like the market is somehow going sideways, right? Sideways. And then you can see that we still have unmitigated areas of interest above around this area here, which means there's still imbalance to be filled, improper price action that the market needs to hit at equilibrium before we start selling. Hence the reason why I said I'm expecting that we should have more buys before this sell eventually start happening. And there's a lot of liquidity above these highs right here. So let's see if the market is going to sweep out this liquidity, mitigate this point before that massive drop starts, right? Because you can see that the chart has left so many order blocks untouched that are going to eventually turn into liquidity when the market is massively dropping. So that being said, now I look at the price action of the 4-hour time frame. I can see the market is giving higher highs and higher lows, proper break of structures. So let me open this up so we can see it. Proper break of structures to the upside, but we're going to be interested in what the market is doing at the current phase. So let's drop down to the 2-hour time frame. Now on the 2-hour time frame, I think the market opened with a gap, right? Drop down, swept liquidity, pushed up, drop again. Now, the reason why I'm saying I've already given you guys the reason why I'm saying the market should buy more before we start selling. So if that's my bias, if that's my analysis, it means that I will look for a way to join the buys, right? To join the buys as a sign that okay, we're going to buy up to a certain level before that sale start, like buy to a particular destination. So now I'm looking for how to join buys basically. So in getting those entries, we're going to come down to lower time frame to look for our entries down. So on the 1 hour, which is one of the best analysis time frame for gold, go and quote me anyway. I can tell you for a fact that 1 hour time frame is very sweet for gold if you're trading gold. Now you can see here that we've come to mitigate our 1 hour order block perfectly, and this market is about to shoot up. Now I'm not in this trade for a reason. All right, I know that I like taking my trades for 1 hour, and it's very possible that this market will move away from here. Right, it's very possible that to move away from here. Oh no, no. Oh, sorry, what have I done? Okay, so it's very possible that the market is going to move away from here, and if you check, if I take an entry from this point, right, and then drop my SL by right around here, I'm going to be having over 300 pips. If I put it just below this low here, that's about 400 pips. If I try to make it tight, 200 plus, but I don't want to be on the tight side. So I'm letting this one go. However, I'm waiting for the price to drop and come back on a more lower aspect, right? So if you open this up, if we open this price action up, coming down to the 30-minute time frame, you can see that the order block is reducing. If you come down to the 15-minute time frame, then you can see that we have something interesting happening here. We have an order block that is unmitigated. We have FVG right here, FVG, good. And then we have this order block that is going to serve as liquidity as well. So yes, market is doing its thing here, probably going to push up. However, this position might not come in now because of the 1 hour time frame that the market's reacting to. It might come in later during the New York session, because I know New York session is going to be crazy today. So I'm going to be patiently waiting for my buy here. So I've already set up my limit. It's a buy limit for me. I'm taking a long position around here, and then set my SL just below here. So my SL is like 190 pip or so, which is still good for me. I'm going to take a better risk to reward if I'm trading it from here rather than up there. So let me drop the coordinates in case you want to put it on your screen and then check it out yourself after the class, right? So it's going to be a buy limit at what's the price? 4755 4755.88, and then SL is going to be at what's the price again? 4736.83. All right, so keep your TP open. Once you get a 1:3 risk to reward, you can jackpot at least 1:3, 1:4. You can take your profit. However, the market is forming something very interesting here. I can see this normal, my sweet strategy entry here is sell, then the market pushing back into the structure, but I'm not interested right now. Honestly, I'm just going to wait for price to come down here. I have FVG over here. I have an order block. It might be as tempting as it's looking, but I'm going to wait. That's what's up. So coming back here, I'm seeing our GBPJPY is back in profit again. Hala Madrid. I don't even know why I said Hala Madrid. I hate Madrid. So yeah, we're back in profit. You can see it here. So if you're still holding, you see this is the reason why I don't touch my stop loss. No matter what, I don't touch my stop loss. So once you set it up, where you have to be very calculative. You know that, okay, market might still reverse back, and this is the reason why you don't break even so fast. Now imagine you broke even now because, okay, you have seen the market pumped up, oh, I've seen profit, then the next thing you just do is to break even. What will happen to you here? The market will come, hit you out on that break even, and it will still go your direction. Now who is losing? You got a very good setup, but you just could not manage it. Remember at the beginning of this class, when I was talking about this trade, I said it's one thing to enter a trade, it's one thing to know how to manage the trade. Trade management is very important. It's equally as important as getting entries. Some of us focus on, they just want to see how to enter. But when you enter, you're not making good use of that particular trade. Understand? You end up, just messing the whole thing up, and end up going in I've been in such kind of situations a lot. Like, that thing can be very annoying, the setup, everything now played out, but eventually for some reason, for you trying to micromanage it, trying to do this thing, you just miss out on the whole move, and then you just start crying. So this came very close to SL. There was no point holding, because the moment you enter the trade, you have already sacrificed that particular amount that you're using, that you're risking. You have $1,000 and you're using $100 to enter the trade. Obviously, you know that as you click in that trade buy, you have already lost $100. That's what you tell yourself. $100 is gone. But should that trade go your way, it's a 1:3 you're getting a $300 profit on it. If it's a 1:4, you're getting a $400 on it, just like that. So it's as simple as that. So this, we're just going to wait for this setup to play out. And like I said, I'm still looking for a sell. So maybe by New York session, we might get a push all the way up here, and this market might give us a very pretty good sell. And then we can jump in on that sell from this particular zone. So let me see if I can get a coordinates for you guys on this sell, because I already have everything outlined here. So let me put on my short side. Excuse me for taking the sell here. Putting out SL just above here is going to be a 27 pip SL. Now this is like an appropriate lot size stop loss for this. If you want to go higher, like you want to be very, very safe, because I'm seeing something here, guys. I don't know if you all seeing this, but I'm seeing something. I'm seeing something here. So this is another POI here. Ah, God, Forex can be so confusing sometimes. So we have another POI here. Let me see what this looks like on a higher time frame. All right. So on the higher time frame, this POI is still looking valid. We have some touch already on it, and it's the 50% of this order, this buy order block, this bearish order block. Oh wow, that's something interesting to look out for as well. You see the reason why you need to always toggle through time frames, right? And then let me see what it looks like. On the 1 hour, it's clean. On the 2 hour, it's clean. On the 4 hour, it's equally clean, my guy. All right. So now we have a disparity here. So it's either we're taking it from this 1 hour, or we're going to pull up and wait for it all the way up in this 4-hour time frame. Me, I like to go for the extremists, right? The extreme ones. However, I'm still going to use this one here because of this liquidity that was engineered here. I'm still going to use this. But when I'm using this, I'm going to be very careful. This is what I mean. This is the kind of situation where I break even very fast. The moment the market pull up in my direction, I'll break even real fast. Why? Because there's a possibility of market reacting to this particular sell and then still giving you a push to the upside to go for the deeper one, because there's still liquidity above here, and this is a very strong POI. It's aligning with the 4-hour time frame. Good. So this is what I'm going to do personally. I'm going to still stick to this my entry right here, and then my stop loss here. Now, market should react to this particular guy right here, and as it's reacting to this guy, I'm going to quickly break even and then have another entry here, so that in case this guy, this particular first entry, moves in my direction, I'm okay, I'm good. But in case it wants to go for the higher one, no problem. Hit me out on break even, and I'll be waiting for a much stronger above. So I'm not losing in any way, right? So this is just me being erotic, manipulative on this particular pair right now. So these are the two major pairs that I'm looking at today. I've not really got anything on BTC. I saw it on BTC, but eventually the trade, I missed out. The trade moved away before I could. Let me show you guys. Before I could do anything, the trade has gone already. So I missed out on it. So this is BTC. Looking for buy continuations. I'm expecting sales when this market to come and fill up this whole area of interest, this whole gap here. We have a lot of things or reasons why this market should come deep into this area. However, we're still pushing up until we get a proper change of character before we start selling, right? So this was the setup that I said I missed. You can see I marked it out here. I marked this point, but I did not get in. So 30-minute time frame. Yeah, on 30 minutes, you see it is a very sweet setup. Very, very sweet setup. So you know how we do it now. We have our liquidity right here, and then we have our area of interest right here. If you drop down to 15-minute time frame, this is where it shows itself properly on the 15-minute time frame. At this very beautiful setup, it gave a 3 candlestick rejection. My students, you all can relate to this, right? 1, 2, 3 candle rejection. The next candle giving you the momentum that you need. That strong momentum, right? The confirmation and then the push. However, I missed it. It's moving out really nicely. It is what it is. You can't catch everything. At the end of the day, you can't catch everything. So these are the two pairs I'm looking at, guys. Nothing much from this. I don't look at a lot of pairs at the same time. I just keep it simple and real. So I'm going to take your pairs right now. If you have anything you want me to check out for you, this is the opportunity. This is the time that we look at your own setup and see what we got on there. So please, the floor is open. If you have something you want me to check out for. So we're still teasing in our profit, if you can see it. If you're getting on this trade, good for you, man. If you're still holding, if you're not, sorry. All right, guys, questions or any pair you want me to look out for, or any question you've got? Because I'm literally done. All right, so BTC, we didn't I already showed you guys BTC. So for now, I don't really have much projection on BTC again. I've missed out on the buy, like I said. I've missed out on that buy, and I can just tell you what I'm looking at, where the market is headed, directional bias and everything, but I've missed out on the trade opportunity until it creates something else for me. So we're going to look at AED, USD, Euro JPY. Yeah, these two pairs should be good for now. So let's get back on. So for BTC, if you now go to the higher time frame here, if you go to the higher time frame, let's say I'm looking at market getting to at least buying to this high, right? There's a POI here. So if you come down back to the 1 hour time frame, you can see this POI. Let me adjust it here. There's an order block here, an order block right here with a very sweet FVG here. So the bias is for it to buy all the way up here before we see a reason to start selling, because I still feel the market is going to sell back to fill up all of this. Because if you look at this from a 4 hour time frame, I'm going to be looking at it in a very dynamic way, right? So from this low to this high, I'm going to be considering it as one impulsive move, because on daily time frame, this is all one impulsive move for me, one impulsive move. So, and then the market dropped like this. So there will be a reason for market to still drop deeper. You see this order block here has not even been touched on the higher time frame. So there's reason for market to still drop down. So that's why I'm saying it might get to this top here, form like a double top, and then start dropping. So what I'm doing is I try to get the destination where you are going to, then I look for how to join. Just like I showed you guys on GBPJPY, I said I'm looking for a sell. So I see the market heading to that direction. So like I join it, okay, let's go to that direction together, then we sell, right? So the same thing I'm doing here, I'm saying, okay, I'm seeing a sell from this point. So I looked for a reason to join or an opportunity to get in using my strategy, basically. So I'm saying I'm expecting the market to push up, but trust me, for now, I don't really take my SL, my TP from this point, right? But I did not get in on it. So basically, I'll be waiting for a break of structure here. Then maybe market give me another reason to keep joining this buys until maybe we get here before we start looking for sales. All right, so that's BTC. So let's check. Somebody spam me Euro JPY. So let's do Euro JPY and then AUD USD, if that's okay. If that's okay. Euro JPY. Let's do Euro JPY. Oh yeah, this again. Let me show you guys this USD JPY. It's a very similar setup with GBPJPY, right? If you this USD JPY, very similar buy setup. This one, it's not as if I did not see this one. I saw it, but I deliberately refused to take the trade. I don't know why I hesitated. Maybe because I did not see my liquidity. I did not look at this thing where like to understand, okay, the liquidity was not clear that they took out that liquidity. It was not so clear. So I was second guessing this move. So I was just like, nah. It did not meet the criteria as completely. So there was no point. So I just left it. And then when GBJ started, I just realized GG and USDJPY sometimes, because they are both driven by JPY, and then so I felt like, okay, this guy is buying, this guy to show so by currency correlation. So why didn't I enter? Well, that's how I missed out on this one. This one happened live in my eyes and I didn't take it. So it's gone. So Otilo. All right, so let's check Euro JPY. Euro JPY. Okay. So this is what we got here. Now let's see. It's also a JPY pair. Let's start from daily. Let's see daily. Oh wow. This is very, very similar to GG, right? Yeah, so they do very similar things. They move very much alike. So it's very, very similar. If you saw what we did on GBPJPY, it's I think it's identical here. Now I see market has broken structure on the daily time frame, and now it's in the correction phase. Yeah, so this correction happened. I think the same time that GGO happened, and then we're pulling back up. So let's see if it's the same kind of price action. Yeah, it is. So basically, I think this is even giving a sweeter outlook, very sweeter outlook. Now, from the 4 hour time frame, something interesting is happening here. Now I can see a very fine sweep here. You remember this is a sell, right? And then the direction is down right now because it's in correction phase on a higher time frame. And you can see the momentum is in the side of the sellers, right? So where did this whole impulsive move start from? This is the origin, the order block. And this order block is a protected one because you see how it swept this high, this liquidity here, and then drop back into the structure, forming a tweezer, giving a 50% partial retracement, which means that this zone is still very much valid. So it's more like, the AMD setup, accumulation, manipulation. Then the distribution usually starts when some people get the distribution part wrong. This is not necessarily the distribution. This is still part of the manipulation. The distribution starts when the manipulation is being mitigated. That means when this price comes back and mitigates the manipulation, then, you have a distribution, something like this, right? You want to see this is the manipulation, then the market comes back, mitigates, then start distributing price. That is the distribution. So we're about to enter into the distribution phase, which is something we're going to join, right? If you're doing this analysis now. So now the market is pushing up. So this is our directional, this is our destination rather. We want to sell from this zone here. Now the market is currently here. So your job is to look for how to join buys that will get you here, just like what I was doing on GG, right? So let's drop down to 2 hour. So I think this buy has already happened. Very similar. It has happened, and if you're not on the buy, you have missed it. So you have to wait for another setup. So look at this price action here. This is very sweet price action. Look at even from the 4 hour, you can see how and the 2 hours, right? You can see how markets, give that nice sweep, drop back into the structure, 50% mitigation, nice drop. And then you can see the slow movement of what the correction. That's telling that this is a correction phase. So this was the re-entry, and this re-entry was not an order block re-entry. It was a breaker block re-entry right here on the 2 hour. I can see a very sweet breaker block. So that's where the market came to. And then you have your order block still situated here, which was not mitigated. However, it has moved on. So let's look at the 1 hour. Okay, the 1 hour is still clear on that breaker block. So it's still very much clear on the breaker block. Let's look at 30 minutes. Very much so, still that. So I think at this point, even this deeper one, I'm not gelling with it here. So I don't think market might even come back to get a re-entry here. So it's already moving. So your job now is to focus on waiting for this market to break this structure. When it breaks above this, it's going to come back, right? It has given an inducement liquidity already. This is your inducement liquidity for this one that price is just reacting to now. So we still have another area of interest here, right? That the market will come to. But for this place to suffice, you want to see market breaking this high right here. So when this high is broken, then we're going to come back. Maybe markets will engineer some liquidity. If it does engineer liquidity, it makes this place more probable for you, and then you can get in on more buys. But you just have to wait because you have missed out on this buy. Then you now wait for the sell. This is the zone where the sell is going to happen right here. So if you want, let me see if this is something that that you can just take a straight up sell. If you put your SL, this 29 pips, it's not so volatile like that. So you can just take a sell entry direct, like a pending order, and then wait for market to give you a nice drop. So the pending order is going to be more like an aggressive entry. So more like an aggressive entry from somewhere around here. More like an aggressive entry, give it down here, and then You wait for price to come in. You can be taking your profits along the line, but this is where price is coming to sweep next. So that is going to be a reasonable profit area. Make sense? Euro JPY. The guy who has been spamming it. It's a nice setup that I'll also personally follow up on. It's a nice one. Yeah. So it's probably going to be a good catch. Probably going to be a good catch. So for GJ, we're still up, I think, about 30 pips. XAUUSD is flying, really flying like that. But it has given that buy. It's very tempting because it's meeting some of my criteria, but I'm not going to stage. I'm just going to let this one go. I'll let it go and just wait for the deeper retracement. If it comes back, if it doesn't come back, then that's also. I think AED is the last one, right? I think AED. So let's check out AED. AUD. All right. So what you doing for us today? AUD. Here we go. Let me jump to the daily. A lot has happened since that last trade we took. You see it here, this buy and sell. That was the last setup we took on AUD, and someone dragged me in here. So whenever someone calls AUD, I always feel obliged, to check it out because AUD have not done nothing but bless me a lot. All right, so price action is looking very sturdy. We're pushing up higher time frames. Let me go to the weekly because it's not so clear on the daily for me. Okay, on the weekly it's still very much bullish, just broke a high. It's having a buy momentum, strong one. Okay, so let's come back to daily. Daily, we're broken structure, but market is reacting on this particular area. So let's go down to see if it's like a range or something. Okay, yeah, looks like it. Okay, so I'm having the vibe that we're about to start a very strong correction phase on AUD. Yeah, I think it should. We're about to because I think dollar index is about to start pushing up. So this guy is about to drop. So let's drop down to 2 hour time frame and see. Okay. So generally, yeah, from the 4 hour time frame, I feel from the daily self that we are already about to start a correction phase. That's a sell momentum is about to hop in the chart because if let's come down to 30-minute time frame and check out if there's definitely a change of character, definitely a massive change of character here. So yes, we're about to start selling. Now the point is, the higher time frame is about to start correcting. So that means lower time frame is going to be giving us lower lows and lower highs. So now the question is, how do you now join in? And before you join in, this is something you should always want to do. Before you join in, you should also understand your destination. Where is this price headed to? So 4 hour is where we usually mark up our zones properly, right? So I can see that this market has respected and mitigated this zone. This is the next area the market is coming to mitigate. We have an order block here. So let me just make it a wide range. And then we have another range just below here. So if this is our first destination, it means that we still have more pips to cover. So there's reasons for trading, right? So let's go down to 1 hour now. Since we have a destination, let's look for how to join the boss and get us down here. So this market has pulled up here, dropped. So I'll be expecting to sell anything from these highs around here. Now, again, chart pattern is showing here. We have a potential head and shoulder to form here. This is just, I'm using it as added confluence, but I'm looking at this space rather, this high here, but it's not so clear on the 1 hour. So let me see what it looks like on the 45 minutes. Not so clear. On the 30 minutes, I think it's getting clearer. It's getting clearer because now the head and shoulder pattern is showing. Yeah, so anything that makes price come into this zone here is probably going to form more liquidity for this point above here. So yeah, I'm still be looking for sales around there. If I'm looking for sales around there, that means we can get opportunities to buy and market can push us all the way up here. So yes, there's a reason to buy from here and get to this zone for a sell. And the market is currently reacting to this POI here. This POI. And there is another one here that has not been mitigated. So I've missed out on this push. Personally, I'm going to be waiting for a long position from here because I have an order block that is unmitigated. I have this as my liquidity inducement, and then this guy is about to push the market for me here. So since I did not get in on that buy, holy grail, I'm going to wait for this buy to drop down here to this zone for a push to the upside. That is my take and bias on AUD. Then ultimately we sell from this top, but for now we're going to be pushing on this buy all the way up. All right. Someone said they can't see my screen. Has my screen been off since? Please let me know. Has um has the screen been off, or is it just one person that can't see the screen? Is it a general problem? Please let me know in the chat if you're still up, if you're still connected with me. Okay, it's probably your network. Okay, somebody's still bugging on Euro USD. So let's just look at Euro USD. I think that should be the last one we're going to be checking out before we end the class. I think we just have a few more minutes left. So let's do Euro USD, and then from there we'll just see how to end our GBPJPY setup. So please, if you can't see, just let me know then, or you put it, you exit and come back in. Or is it a general problem? Please let me know in the comment section. Is it a general question? Is it a general problem? Okay, so if everybody can see, then I think we're good. Okay. Oh God. Is it? No. Euro USD. I'm on it right now. So sorry, just a moment. I'm trying to put it up. All right. So this is Euro USD. Let's start from a higher time frame. Oh wow. All right. So let's start from a higher time frame. Okay. So I can see that we are currently I haven't traded this in a while. I haven't traded this pair in a while. So I can see that the market from the daily time frame here, we are reacting to this particular area here, which also tells us that okay, so we might be dropping because I mean market has given a very very massive push to this upside, and then we might be dropping all the way down here. Might be dropping all the way down here for a very nice correction, and the market is already giving you that phase of okay, we're about to start pulling down, right? So from the 4 hour time, it's very similar to this Euro AUD USD. So from that, there's a nice liquidity sweep here, right? This kind of did the job, swept this liquidity right from here, and then we're good to go for the sell. Now, normally I would take my entry from this point here. From this, the moment this candle closes, you can see that market has dropped back, coming to mitigate it, putting my SL just above. This is the mitigation, but it seems as if we have had that mitigation already. It doesn't seem so. I think we did not touch entirely. So this is the zone for the sell. Market closed. It did not touch it. It did not touch it. So we might still have price pushing up into this zone. So in this kind of situation now, I'll prefer to take my sell from 50% of this move, right? So I'm going to put my zone from this 50%, then I'm going to scale down to lower time frames and see if there's anything aligning with this 50%. Because yeah, this is a good point to sell from. And if anything is aligning with this 50%, it will make more sense for especially chart pattern traders. You will now see what looks like a head and shoulder pattern, right? So I'll drop down to 2 hour time frame and see. Okay, 2 hour time frame is not looking bad. 1 hour, still not looking bad. Let's see, 45 minutes. Okay, I think it's here. 45, 30 minutes should give us what we're looking for. I think 45 minutes is giving us what we're looking for. Okay, even on 15 minutes. So yeah, this is the zone, right? This is the zone. This is going to be my sell zone. So I think 45 minutes have a better projection. So I'm going to be waiting for a sell from this area. Now this sell is just coming from basically from the higher time frame. We want to see this market drop all the way down because now we're about to start a new correction phase. But you see this order block, the H4 order block is quite wide. It's like a 50%, it's a 50 pip SL. On Euro USD, 50 pips is quite big. So I'm going to make my SL smaller. I'm going to prefer to take my entry from a 50% area, right? So while this is happening, I'm going to take this as my liquidity, right? Market has come to this point and then it dropped. So I'm expecting that, okay, we're going to see more push to the upside, probably during the New York session, coming into this area. Anywhere from this point, you should start looking for how to join a sell, put your SL below, and then we can have a nice correctional sell all the way down. See, we have like a whole lot to do going down here. Market coming back, mitigating this is another zone that the market will mitigate. If it manages to break past this zone, we have this breaker block waiting for price here. And then we have another order block waiting for price here. So all this one will be taken as what? A correction phase. So if you go to the daily time frame, you can see that, okay, it just makes sense, right? That this is an impulsive move and this is all like a correction down here. It might get here, it might not get here, but at least you get good price action movements before markets, will continue buying. All right, so that's that on Euro USD. I think we're done for now. We've gotten some really good setups. We just have to wait. I think Euro JPY is a very good one. We should wait for that definitely. I'm going to drop it on the Telegram. Let me just post it right now on our Telegram. And then this is Euro JPY. And then we also have gold. You see gold has started turning back down. Okay. We also have gold XAUUSD. XAUUSD. And then we have GBPJPY. So for this GBPJPY, I'm not going to post it out there now because I explained to you guys the reason why, I'm going to be waiting for more confirmations and all. So unfortunately, we can't take any other pair out. We're done for today. I hope you got value. I hope you took the trade. I hope you learned something. Let me know. Please hit the like this video more so that a lot of people can see it even after the stream. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you do that. Make sure you subscribe because you'll be getting value from me definitely. All right. Have a good morning and have a very beautiful trading day. I hope you make money this week. We're already making money. If you're not, join the train. All right. Bye, guys.